welcome to the Suzanne and Sarah YouTube channel. I'm Suzanne Moore.
And I'm Sarah Willis. We are Central Oregon's investment and real estate experts.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Suzanne and Sarah YouTube channel. I'm Suzanne Moore.
And I'm Sarah Willis, and we are Central Oregon's investment and real estate experts. We are here to talk to you about our market stats today, where the market has been and where it's going.
Awesome. And just a little bit more about us. We are both realtors here in the Central Oregon area. We focus on investments, relocation, and income producing properties. And you can find all of our contact information right here on this page. And if you have a smartphone, go ahead and snap that QR code that will take you to our contact page where you can join in the Central Oregon Investor Network. We host monthly meetups about investor topics, and we also scour the market every single week and send out hand-curated lists of the best investment properties in Central Oregon.
Absolutely. So this week we are dissecting the Beacon report, which is a robust report that comes out monthly, and we take data in there and sort of put it in our own minds and our own words and bring it to you, share it with you. So something we want to start with is we look at the change from month to month in terms of median sales price, and we are down $77,000 from our peak, which was back in April, which was a whopping 10%. November, however, is up a little bit slightly from October, so we're doing all right in that aspect.
Yes, so our median home price for November 2022 is $696,000. That was actually a $16,000 increase since October, so since last month, and that represents essentially a 2% increase in home prices in the last year.
So we've been trending down, but we're still up year over year.
We are still up.
And price per square foot's another one that we watch closely because this is one way that we help our sellers gauge where they need to be in terms of list price for a home. And the average in Bend this month is $352 per square foot. And again, while we have been decreasing from our peak, we're still 5% higher year over year. And over the course of 2 years, home prices have appreciated a whopping 26%. So again, Bend market is staying strong.
Still strong. And I think that's the key message we want to reiterate here is the Bend market is still growing. It's not double digits like it was a couple of years ago, but still growing. So interesting, though, was the number of sales in November. We had the lowest number of sales in November 2022 since essentially earlier in the year, so January, February. And that's pretty typical cycle for real estate in Central Oregon and most markets in general. The wintertime tends to be a bit slower, fewer sales. And this essentially represents 30% fewer sales since this time last year.
All right, days on market are always interesting to watch. And, since our peak, this has been creeping up, in double digits month over month quickly. So what is also just interesting to note now, since we're looking at November's data, is that we already said October was the lowest, and we are now selling homes 10 days faster than we did last month. But again, we like to have lots of different perspectives here. So zooming back out for year over year, last year, the market was still red hot here in Bend, and we are only the homes are only sitting on the market only 1 week longer than they were a year ago. So while days on market are greater than they were a year ago, seven more days is not that significant in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, that's a great point, Sarah. All right, here's a really interesting one that the Beacon report started tracking about a year ago, and that was tracking the number of cash sales versus financed sales. So what we found in November of this year is that 2 out of every 5 sales were paid for with all cash. So that's essentially 43% of all the sales of homes in Bend, Oregon were paid for with cash. What does that mean? That means that we've seen interest rates do this, right? So a lot of first-time home buyers are exiting the market. They're waiting for interest rates to drop or something else to happen. So what we have then are investors, folks with cash, folks that are not affected by interest rates, and they're coming in, they're seeing some of these price decreases. I mean, like we said, we're still up versus the beginning of the year, but we're not growing at 20% like we did last year. So they're coming in and swooping properties and paying all cash for properties in Central Oregon.
Yeah, those people are seeing the opportunity and I think getting in when the time is right. And they'll probably see that money grow in the next couple years.
Yes. So one thing we just did a quick review of the market, just looking at the overall year so far. So we haven't seen December numbers, but when we do, you will know about it. And what we found was that October was the worst month for Bend real estate in 2022. And that was lowest price, highest days on market, lowest price per square foot. So, that's the worst for sellers, but that's also the best for buyers. So it depends on how you look at it, right? Buyers got really good deals in October.
Yeah, all about perspective here, always. So moving forward, the year ahead. Do we have a slide for that, Suzanne?
We do, yes. All right. What's next?
So what's next? So seasonal trends will tell us that basically this time of year, inventory continues to go down through about February or March. And looking ahead, inflation data has been positive for interest rates, but we know that they will definitely continue to impact sales. So while once again, sales are down, that has not seemed to really affect days on market and sales price. So the Bend market remains strong, guys. People still want to move here. The access to the outdoors is not going away. And we're here to help no matter what conditions we are facing.
Yes. So thank you all for joining us for our November 2022 market stats. Here's our contact information. Feel free to join the Central Oregon Investor Network and keep up to date on all the latest happenings in Central Oregon real estate. We are your experts.
Bye, guys.
Thank you all.